Hello, my name is Isabel, and I will be delivering my speech on how one can become more compassionate. How can one be more compassionate? Is there a secret on how to be more compassionate toward others? Human connections nowadays have become lacking compassion. There has become a lack of interest or care in what others have to say or do. People have become so focused on themselves and have forgotten about the impact they leave on others on a daily basis, whether it be people they know or even strangers they come across. Here's a piece of advice provided by Julia Jazaire in her article 6 Habits of Highly Compassionate People. If you choose, this could be an opportunity to acknowledge the interdependence that surrounds us. Our lives, even simple trips to the grocery store, are supported by countless others. Most people forget and become oblivious to how much human connections actually matter in the world. I'll let you in on a little secret. Compassion is the secret ingredient to what creates a true human connection. Compassion is what makes the other person feel acknowledged and heard. It is simple to say one must become more compassionate, but it is a little more complex than just trying to be more compassionate. There are ways to be more compassionate. One must act with kindness toward others, show empathy toward others, and create warmth for others. These three elements are what help one to become more compassionate, and as a result are what create a true human connection. People are so busy and disconnected to society sometimes that they forget to show compassion toward those they come across. Kindness is one key component to fulfilling the act of compassion toward others. According to Karen Armstrong, a former nun and author of 12 Steps to a Compassionate Life, in the podcast, How Can We Make the World More Compassionate, she mentions, the golden rule is don't do to others what you would not like them to do to you. This golden rule should apply toward any actions completed in life. For example, the podcast How Do You Cure a Compassion Crisis by Stephen J. Dubner mentions an instance when a patient went through surgery and was put under anesthesia, but he accidentally recorded the procedure and heard how the doctors were insulting him the whole time. This patient was not treated with kindness whatsoever, and as a result became angry and offended. We must remember how our actions affect those around us and decide if we would like if people treated us the way we are treating them. As mentioned by Karen Armstrong once again, we treat each other as we wish to be treated. Moreover, it is essential to act with empathy and put yourself in the other person's shoes to understand what it is they may be going through or feeling as a result of your actions. As mentioned in the podcast Inside Out Leadership by Michelle Maldonado, one must possess a sense of self-awareness in order to act with more compassion. Empathy is a shared experience that requires perceiving the emotional state of others. As also stated by Karen Armstrong again, look into your own heart. Discover what it is that gives you pain, and then refuse under any circumstances whatsoever to inflict that pain on anybody else. One must see the other person as a real person and catch their emotion. There are physical actions one can partake in to show their empathy toward another person. According to the podcast How Do You Cure a Compassion Crisis by Stephen J. Dubner again, a guest speaker, Helen Reyes, states one can do so through eye contact, facial expressions, body language, tone of voice, and either verbally or physically acknowledging what the other person is saying. Furthermore, the last component to acting with compassion is expressing warmth. Sharing warmth makes a person feel at ease and shows a person that they are not alone in whatever it is they may be experiencing. In accordance with the article Teaching Compassion, Incorporating Jean Watson's Caritas Processes into a Care at the End of Life course for senior nursing students by nurses Margaret Costello and Anne-Marie Barron, developing and sustaining a helping, trusting, authentic, caring relationship allows one to gain trust in another person, which as a result creates warmth for that person is putting their trust onto someone else. Along with creating trust comes being supportive in order to fulfill the creation of warmth. As also mentioned again by Margaret Costello and Anne-Marie Barron, Being present and supportive to the expression of positive and negative feelings allows for one to feel as though they have a sense of a support system. Creating that environment of trust and supportiveness helps contribute to acting with compassion toward others. To conclude, our world is so busy focusing on our individual selves that we forget to create those human connections with one another. We have become mindless of how we treat others and the impact we leave on those we interact with on a daily basis. But we must try to remember to create that human connection. In creating a human connection with someone comes compassion. Compassion is made through acting with kindness, showing empathy, and creating warmth. We must constantly remind ourselves of how we would like to be treated and treat those around us as we wish to be treated. Showing compassion not only benefits the person receiving, but also the person giving by making both feel a sense of happiness after creating a true human connection. So when you're out interacting with people you know, or even strangers, don't forget to show compassion toward those you come across. Thank you.